on speaking while you can.
I watched a man at the market this morning pause before a woman selling figs. He opened his mouth as if to say something, then closed it, smiled politely, and walked away. I do not know what he wanted to say. Perhaps it was nothing. But his face told me it was not nothing. It was something he swallowed. The way we swallow so many things. And I thought of you, and of all the words we let dissolve on our tongues before they ever reach the air. You and I have spoken of many things over the years. We have debated justice, traded complaints about the weather, argued over which bread is best bought on which street. But I wonder sometimes whether we have said the things that actually matter. Not because we lack the feeling, but because the feeling seems too large, too tender, too foolish to release into ordinary conversation. We are strange creatures in this way. We will spend an hour describing a meal, but cannot bring ourselves to say, simply and without decoration, "You have made my life better. I am grateful you exist." There is something almost comical about it. How fiercely we guard the very words that would most nourish the people we love. Consider how freely you speak when you are irritated. A cold dish, a late friend, a sandal strap that breaks on a rocky path. These small frustrations leap from your lips with remarkable ease. You do not rehearse your annoyance. You do not wonder whether the moment is right. You simply speak. Yet when warmth rises in you, when you look at someone dear and feel the full, absurd luck of knowing them, you hold it behind your teeth like a coin you are afraid to spend. You tell yourself there will be a better time, a more appropriate occasion. You imagine some future evening, golden and unhurried, when you will finally say what you mean. But that evening is a phantom. It does not come because it does not need to. Any evening will do. This evening will do. I do not say this to scold you. I say it because I have been the same. I once sat beside a friend who was dying, and I spoke about the garden. The garden. As if the roses were the urgent matter. As if he needed my opinion on which variety handles frost. What I wanted to say was that his friendship had been one of the great, unearned gifts of my life, and that I did not know how to imagine the years ahead without his voice in them. I said none of this. I spoke about roses until the light changed and visiting hours ended, and I walked home in the kind of silence that teaches you something, if you are willing to be taught. I did return the next day, and I did, at last, say it. Clumsily, with a cracking voice and more stumbling than I would have liked. He laughed at me, which was perfect. But I nearly did not say it at all, and that thought still visits me on quiet nights. Why do we hesitate? I think it is because sincerity makes us feel exposed, the way a tree looks in winter when it has lost every leaf. We fear that our affection will be too much, or too little, or poorly timed. We imagine the other person flinching or laughing, or worst of all, not understanding. But here is what I have found. People are almost never burdened by being told they matter. You have never once in your life heard someone say, "I wish fewer people had expressed genuine love to me." The risk you imagine is not the risk that exists. The true risk is silence. The true risk is the assumption that they already know. They may know, but knowing and hearing are different experiences. The way knowing the sun will rise is different from standing in the first warmth of it on your face. You can know a thing in your mind, and still ache to hear it spoken aloud. Words, when they are honest and specific, have a quality that thoughts alone cannot achieve. They become real. They land somewhere in the body, in the chest, behind the eyes. They become a memory the other person can return to on difficult days. You are not merely conveying information when you tell someone what they mean to you. You are giving them something to carry. And let us not reserve this only for grand declarations. The small observations are perhaps even more precious. Tell your friend that you admire the way they listen, how they tilt their head slightly, and ask the question no one else thought to ask. Tell the person who bakes your bread that the smell of their shop is the reason you walk the long way home. Tell your child, or your parent, or the neighbor who waters your plants while you are away, something particular, something only you would notice. Generalities are kind, but specifics are love. Anyone can say you are wonderful. Only someone who has truly paid attention can say, I noticed that you always refill the oil lamp before anyone asks, and it tells me everything about who you are. I think you will find, if you begin to practice this, that it changes you as much as it changes the people who hear it. There is a lightness that comes from releasing what you have been holding. Like setting down a basket you forgot you were carrying. You will also discover, perhaps with some surprise, that vulnerability does not diminish your dignity. It deepens it. The people who speak honestly about what they feel are not weaker for it. They are simply braver, in the quiet way that bravery usually appears, not on a battlefield but in a kitchen, in a doorway, in the pause before someone turns to leave. Time is doing what it always does. It is moving. The people you love are moving with it. Some of them are aging in ways you have not yet allowed yourself to see. Some of them are carrying sorrows they have not mentioned, waiting, perhaps, for someone to say the thing that makes them feel less alone. You do not need to be eloquent. You do not need to prepare a speech. You only need to be willing to say what is true while truth still has a place to land. There is a particular kind of morning light that comes through the window and makes everything in a room look like it has been gently forgiven. The dust, the scratches in the table, the cup you keep meaning to replace. Everything is just briefly, silently beautiful. That is what honest words do for the people who receive them. They do not fix anything. They do not need to. They simply illuminate what was already there. So speak. Speak while the table is full. Speak while the road is shared. Speak not because the moment is perfect, but because the moment is here. And here is the only place where your voice can reach the ones who need to hear it.